our relationship's kind of taking a shift, or it's your relationship with this person's taking a toll on our relationship. How do you have that conversation? Because it took me a second to muster up the courage to bring it to their attention. Can we just talk about this being?
Yeah, we're like beating around the bush. I'm seeing somebody right now, and Mark was missing me for a bit.
Hey guys, before we dive deep into this episode, we just wanted to say thank you so much for all the likes and comments on the last episode. The likes, they really help us out in the algorithm. And George, I know you're really happy with the comments.
Yeah, and I love how you guys are voicing your guys' opinion on it, and we've been getting a lot of love. And we've literally been sitting all day reading all your guys' comments. So don't think any of your comments that you guys say are going unnoticed. We do appreciate every single one of them.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. And we talked a lot about in this episode, social media, the shift in it, people being irrelevant and just hate speech kind of on social media. And we wanted to hear your perspective in the comments once you guys get to this part of the podcast. We want you to comment down below. What do you guys see from the outside looking in? We're heavy involved in social media. We want to know from your guys' perspective, the consumer's perspective, some things you would like to see change in social media, whether it be on our channels, whether it be on Instagram as a whole, YouTube as a whole. What type of content would you like to see shift? And we'll be checking them out and reading some of them in the next episode. But enjoy this episode of
The Tumen Show.
The Tumen Show.
Did I tell you I was just recently over here in your side of town at like 12 o'clock at night? There's a huge 3 or 4 story spa that's open 24 hours.
Is it a happy ending spa?
No, it's like a clean spot. Like it's actually like clean.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like 4 or 5, no, like 6 or 7 different types of steam rooms, like mud rooms, like crystal rooms. There's like a skin place where they like peel off your skin. And it's not expensive at all. And you go in there, it's open 24 hours. The restaurant's open 24 hours. Like it's like if you ever have like insomnia and you can't sleep, bro, you go there and they just fucking.
I haven't been to a spa in a long time. Maybe I'll check it out.
It was really it was cool, and you could go with friends because like the
same room.
Yeah, there's a it's kind of weird if you go with your friend because you're fully naked in the first room and like you kind of just cover your dick and it's weird. But everyone walks around naked. I'm not used to this, by the way.
That's weird.
It's weird. Yeah. It's very weird.
Everybody, guys and girls?
No, just guys. And then in the co-ed section, the second floor, which is the reason I want to go, it's all the steam rooms. And there's like a cold room. You go into this ice room and like all this stuff. That's co-ed, and you're wearing like clothes, but it's cool.
Welcome into another episode of the Tumen Show.
Tumen Show.
That was quite the intro conversation. George just shared with me that he was at a happy ending spot near me.
No. I mean, yeah, but I didn't do the happy ending.
Yo, let's start off right off the bat. We got the best interaction from you guys, the fans, on last week's episode. So many positive comments about you, George.
Wild. I've never gotten that many emails. And that man, you know what's funny? I'm not going to lie to you. When I walked out of that, I felt good. I felt like there was a lot of like weight off my shoulders because it's always stuff that I vent to you or vent to my friends about, but I've never actually put that online.
Well, even George called me after. He's like, yo, man, I don't know about putting out some of the stuff that I said.
Yeah.
But it turned out well, dude.
It's not that I don't want to, it's not that I didn't want to voice my opinion. I got to remember that my career is always at stake when you voice your opinion.
Right.
And then so when I watched it back, I was like, honestly, I don't see myself getting in too much trouble over this. And I was like, okay, I might as well test the waters and put that out there. And it was the most refreshing thing. Mm-hmm. I cannot exaggerate when I say I've gotten thousands.
Yeah. I got a ton, dude.
Thousands of like emails and comments and DMs where I was like flustered, but 99.9 of them were like all like positive feedback. They were like, dude, you spoke the words right out of my mouth. It's so refreshing to see you stand. Even people that disagreed with me, bro. I got people that disagreed with me. They started out with, I disagree with your views, but I absolutely respect that you're sticking to your morals and not letting Hollywood change the way you view things. And
and that kind of it goes in line. There was a recent with Mario Lopez. He voiced his opinion, and his opinion didn't line up with, the masses' opinion, and he got really, really criticized for it, and they're trying to cancel him. It's just one of those things, man, where you
can't voice your opinion.
Can't voice your opinion. I respect that everyone has their own opinion.
Yeah.
You can't voice your opinion in today's social media day and age without being ridiculed or being afraid like you were of it not lining up with the masses and people canceling you or whatever. But it turned out well for you. Not for Mario Lopez, but for you
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah, it really didn't turn out so well for him.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless. I hope everything works out. And his view, to be honest, wasn't a bad view.
Right.
I think people twisted him into
I think he meant well. He just didn't say it how he wanted. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm not really familiar with it. We're not going to talk about that because that's
we're not educated on it.
We're not educated
Yeah,
on.
we're not educated on that.
But yeah, I got a DM. I was actually just looking through my DMs. It said, and this is something I wanted to touch base on. Hey, brother, I'm watching your podcast with George. I have to say, you are fucking new Ben born. In the past, I've watched your YouTube channel to laugh. Now I watch to be inspired. You have changed a lot for the better. The mentality you have, your new lifestyle, your new group of friends that challenge you to be the best version of yourselves every day. And that's something I want to talk about because I think there's been a shift in our content where, you know, the two words that I hate the most in social media are "you're irrelevant."
Yeah.
It really bothers me because, you know, I get a lot of comments on my shit saying you're irrelevant, you don't have any clout, you fell off, all this shit. I even had a close friend of mine text me the other day and say that I fell off. And that, yeah, it affects me when I see that shit, and it instills doubt and fear in me, but it also motivates me. And I think me and you both have kind of reached a point in our careers right now where, you know, I was Logan's roommate, and then I was the relationship guy, and now I'm kind of in this third phase of my content creation in my life, and that's what I'm trying to do right now is find my place. Mm-hmm. What's my next rebrand? Because I'm not in the relationship. I'm not with him. So it's like me struggling and starting over and being irrelevant and falling off, all of those things. I have to start over. You know, the brand that I built in those 3 years up until now, it doesn't exist anymore. So that's like, I'm at this transitional phase where I'm trying to figure out my next move. So obviously I'm like losing followers because I'm not posting the same shit. Mm-hmm. And that comment that he said, just, it solidifies that.
I think is because in the beginning you were really passionate about what you were posting, and I think you lost that passion for it.
Right.
You can only do something
we're getting
so
older.
many times.
Yeah, you can only make so many skits, the same premise. And we're just getting older, man. I'm 25 now. Like, I'm not the 21-year-old. My brain is maturing. Like, I'm not a fucking horny-ass 19-year-old following Instagram thoughts, which we'll get into that. Just my brain, like, I want to make content that's more fulfilling, that people can learn from, that people can, like, for example, today, in my vlog, go check it out. I'm holding myself accountable again. Right after my breakup, you saw me grind. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning every day, hitting the gym twice, lost all that weight, hitting the meal plans. Yeah. And then I hit Coachella, partied. Coachella weekend 2, partied. Stagecoach, partied. And then I fell into this trap. I got sucked in to the LA trap of partying. And it's like, dude, I had to come to the realization the other day, like, yeah, partying's fun and all that, but like, dude, I got to get back on my shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, hold yourself accountable, discipline yourself. And that, for me, like, I was the happiest after my breakup when I was doing that. You know, mentally, I was mentally satisfied when I was like focused on something. So today was the first day I woke up 5:30 in the morning. And it just goes back to the discipline thing. 5:30 a.m., woke up, made my bed, made breakfast. I went on a hike. By 6 a.m., I was supposed to meet 2 girls there, which, by the way, this goes to I've been focusing so much on myself. I've had several people hit me up saying, hey, you want to go on a hike? I want to go on a hike with you because I've been hiking a lot and I've been throwing up on my story trying to motivate people to get out there and be active. 2 girls hit me up and they're like, hey, I want to go on a hike with you next time. And I said, all right, I'm going tomorrow, 6 a.m. They're like, all right, I'll be there. Neither of them showed up.
Not one.
One of them texted me.
I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't blame them.
Yeah, but don't say you're going to go on a hike with me and not come. But I actually enjoyed it by myself because... And I actually took out my AirPods, and I was just listening to nature and like in my thoughts.
You were calm.
Yeah, and it was. Are
you
just
listening
quiet.
now? You were telling me you don't listen to music anymore. You're listening to like motivational, like.
Yeah, motivational stuff. Every time I'm at the gym, I'm listening to motivational.
Do you do that to like mentally get yourself there? Are you prepping not only your body but your mind, or do you feel that helps you push your workout harder because it's like pissing you off or something? Like, is it like, his music for me when I work out, it's just get me go through the workout.
Right. No, I think I obviously used to listen to music a lot, but I like listening to the motivational things because I can draw things that I'm feeling doubt about myself, and it solidifies like, oh wow, you shouldn't feel that way, and here's why. And it motivates me. Like, they're about motivation, they're about discipline, they're about hard work. They're about accountability, all of these things. And I just listen to them over and over again. And I hear things. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot that I read that in that book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's kind of like working out. Sometimes when you don't work out your muscle, you lose it.
Right.
So your brain's a muscle as well. So sometimes if you don't work out those good common sense choices, you could sometimes forget about them.
Yeah, it's really helped me a lot. So yeah, guys, get up, be active, push yourself, and that's something.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Right. I want to lead by example. So I think for me, and it's inspiring when I have people DMing me. Like I had some guy, thanks for motivating me to wake up early and work out right after waking up. It feels amazing knowing that you achieve that much even that early in the morning. Like it's dope accomplishing so much before everyone else wakes up because there's no distractions. You don't check your phone. You don't start your day like looking at social media and comparing yourself to like, oh, what have these people done already today?
Yeah.
When you're the first one up.
Mm-hmm.
So you set the precedent for your day instead of, not living up to what everyone else is doing. You're just doing you, dude.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. That's the number one mindset you have to have when you're your own boss.
Right.
If you work for somebody else, you don't have to wake up knowing somebody's going to tell you something. It's a lot harder when you have to wake yourself up and tell yourself what to do.
Right.
When you have no like schedule to look at and you have to write that schedule, it's a lot harder.
I was talking about this to my brother. I said the same thing. I'm like, damn, it is so hard. It's a blessing that we get to do what we do, but it's also so hard to push yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's why you need employees. He's like, if you have employees, you got to tell them what to do. Like, and just because they look up for you, like they're depending on you now.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I need to look into also, getting some more people to work for me to help me out. If you want to be an editor, we can amp up the content, let me know. But yeah, and humility, like acknowledging the fact that, and here's another thing. When people say you're irrelevant, who are they comparing you to?
I think for me,
because listen, yeah,
I think it hurts our feelings because we were more relevant in the past.
Right. But at the same time, I still get 250,000 people watching my vlogs.
Yeah.
50 to 100,000 are listening to our podcast. That's a fuckload of people.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm so sick of people in today's day and age correlating likes and views with like success and relevance and clout. It's my fucking least favorite word right there.
Yeah.
And I want to see a shift in the content, man. We've talked about this, like following less influencers and more
there was
creatives.
A kid. There was a kid that I bumped into right in front of my old place when I was picking up Greg, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey man, any advice?" I go, and I was really tired that day. I love talking, so when people ask me that question, I just kind of shoot off answers. Right. But I literally asked him a question right back. I go, "Okay, so what are you doing right now before I give you advice?" And he said, "Well, I've been doing these reaction videos because I know they do really well. Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend is starting to pick up makeup because makeup is really big right now."
Yeah, you talked about this on the other podcast.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I?
You said stop doing stuff that will do well. Do stuff that you want to do that you want to do.
Yeah.
And people will like you for you.
I didn't even know I brought that up.
No, that conversation we had actually stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
Like it helped me out a lot because a lot of people, and me included, make content that
I think we all did. We all did. You know how many times me and you have sat down in the room like, okay, what do they want? We always said that. Mm-hmm. We were always in the room like, okay, what do they want? What do they want? What do they want? And then I did Bad Extra, which was like really different. Mm-hmm. It didn't do bad. It did just as well as my other videos actually. But it was a lot more fulfilling for me. Because I was actually watching it. I enjoyed watching it, because it was something I created. That I loved.
And that's the most important thing. And people, we talked about this before the podcast. If they see your happiness, it attracts them. Like they see that you're being real. And even on the last episode where you were just open and honest,
they could see it. Yeah,
they could see it, and that they fuck with you more. So I think that's a really dope. That's something I've been posting on my story, just like. I've been taking more photos. I love taking photos and doing all that shit. So I'm just going back to that.
Are you excited when you said you were excited? I think you talked about it in the other podcast. You're excited about how the likes might go away.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be a lot more postable? Yeah, right? Because you're not worried about what people think.
Yeah. That's the hardest. That's the biggest battle, right? Because we all seem to, in this day and age, correlate. Who the fuck cares, bro? Like how many likes you get. Like, I don't know. I think it shows like the true character of someone if they have a negative thing to comment about. Like they must be struggling with something in their life when they have to comment on your life being irrelevant and all this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just got to pray for them and hope the best from them. But did you see that there's a 6-year-old YouTuber, and I want to talk about this, who just bought an $8 million property. She's 6 years old. She does toy reviews. She's from South Korea. Her name is, hold on, let me scroll here. Boram. I don't know. What do you think about parents exploiting their kids for views? Do you think, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Child actors.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of Disney stars and Nickelodeon stars that went down the wrong path. You know, that tends to happen a lot where they
but you have other people like Lizzie McGuire. That's amazing.
Right. Granted, but you seem to see that story a lot. Do you think the next generation of that type of... Here's my question. I'm trying to relay this. So basically a child actor, they want to be an actor, right?
Yeah.
Does a YouTuber's family channel's daughter or son, do they want to do that? Or they don't really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? They're not like waking up and saying, hey, let's make a video today. It's their parents like filming a video. Do you think that's kind of messed up? And how do you think that is? Like, what do you feel about that?
I think it's so new that we don't even know how to label it.
Right.
Because you're right. Because like at least with acting, they have like a certain amount of hours.
Right. There's labor laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way. I don't know, man. I'm like
in let's say you're a baby, you're a newborn baby.
Yeah.
You don't have you don't know what's going on. Your parents are filming your life and making millions of dollars from it.
Yeah. On top of that, like, the internet's forever.
Right.
I don't know. Never really thought about it that way. I would say if they're financially hurting and it's their way of bringing that baby and their family to a better life, and it's like they're not putting way too much out there, then I'm okay with it. But if they're putting everything about this baby out there and like it's so young it doesn't even have a chance to voice its opinion on it, I'd say that's kind of messed up. I feel like there should be laws coming in soon.
But it's interesting because the most successful channels on YouTube are family channels. The most advertised channels on YouTube are family channels. So YouTube, in a way, is benefiting off of, is not in a way, they are benefiting the most off of children being exploited, which is kind of fucked.
I mean, I feel like yes and no, because I do know people that have like they have a family channel and they're very cool, and then off camera they're like the babies are treated very well and then they live their life.
But also,
and here's another thing,
YouTube's terms of service, you have to be 13, bro.
True, but check this out. Here's another thing. Labor laws for acting, right? Those kids have to go to rehearsal. They have to practice lines. They have to go through makeup. They have to go through wardrobe. There's a lot of process before you jump in front of the camera. The other kids are really just being documented their life, just like how every other parent's going to be documenting their life, except for instead of not making money on it, they're making money on it. So technically it's kind of the same thing that every baby is going through with their parents, but one decides to upload it and one decides not to upload it. So at the end of the day, it's your kind of compass morals. If do you want your kid to be out there as much as they are or not? So I think at the end of the day, I can't judge yes or no. I think that's just their home and then they have to deal with it. I don't want to dive in and be like, nah, the way you're raising your kids are wrong.
No, yeah, of course. But also at the same time, when that kid comes of age, what if they don't want their life? What if they didn't want to be famous, you know?
Yeah, I mean, then they could walk away like the Olsen twins with billions of dollars. I don't think they're tripping out right now.
What about the other kid? $3 million, 16-year-old. He won $3 million playing Fortnite.
How old is this kid?
16. He won the Fortnite tournament and won $3 million. Do you think...
I bet his parents are like, maybe...
Well, we talked about this.
Maybe he's onto something.
We talked about this on the last episode about how you never see kids' bikes in front of people's houses anymore. Do you think people now seeing that, parents are going to... And with the new, like...
Oh, parents are already doing that.
They're encouraging their kids to play video games now.
Yeah, now there's like YouTube training camps and like social media training camps. Like kids are... Like parents are putting them instead of like soccer and like volleyball and shit like that. They're like putting these kids into that type of thing, and it's really weird.
It's just weird it's so crazy to think how far technology has come in 10 years since when we were kids.
Oh yeah, it's wild. I was just bringing this up. I brought it up to you. I go, do you remember when you met your friends at like a jungle gym?
Oh yeah, like a playhouse.
I don't hear about this anymore. Like a Chuck E. Cheese or like a
Like I had parties at bowling alleys for my birthday.
Thank you. Like
you got the pin.
Yeah, there were so many things that you could go to, and like now I don't see anybody ever making.
Now there's like Fortnite parties and shit.
Yeah.
Like my nephew came to visit. He's 7 years old, and he's in California for the very first time. And he brought his iPad, and the new Fortnite season came out, and he's jumping up and screaming at 6 a.m. I got the new season. He's playing the season. He's here. And then I take him to, where do we take him? Oh, we took him to Disney. The happiest place on earth. He goes, 2 hours in, I want to go home.
No.
It's too hot. And Madeline, my niece, who's older, 11, she's like, Jared, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You need to enjoy this. He's like, it's too hot. I want to go home to he calls it the penthouse, my apartment. He's like, I want to go to the penthouse. He just wants to sit inside, 7 years old, at Disneyland. Meanwhile, I wanted to go home because I hate Disneyland, but a 7-year-old dude?
I was there 2 days prior, and I spent the whole night. I was the last one out of the park. I love Disneyland. Disneyland's the best for me. I can literally sit and people watch and ride all day.
Oh, man. Anyways, I got a question. This is a relationship-ish question. So I spoke to a girl, and I ghosted her, but she also ghosted me. So who ghosted who? If we double ghosted, what does that mean?
How is that possible?
Like we hung out, and then after the hangout, I never reached out to her, and she never reached out to me. Is there like a mutually agreed upon?
Sounds like a horrible date. Yeah. Oh my God, how uncomfortable was that situation?
No, it was fine. I'm just asking.
Okay, can I ask you, what made you not message her back?
I just knew from the start I wasn't vibing.
Okay, maybe she felt the same way.
Yeah, probably. Probably got that message. Yeah.
Hilarious. What if she was waiting the whole time, like, oh, he's playing hard to get, and like every day she's like, wow, he's really trying. Like, this is crazy. And then she watches the video, she goes, oh God, okay, he did it. So he's not reaching me.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Why in relationships, in the early stages, do friendships tend to drift?
Why are you asking me that?
Oh, someone in our close friend group is talking to a girl. He's very invested in this girl, and he doesn't hang out with his fucking best friend as much anymore.
Was his best friend ugly and tall?
No, he's good looking. Hasn't gotten laid in a while though.
I think it has to have, like, in the beginning stages, like, for example, if I had a friend, like I had it with you when you had Kylie.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the stages, I knew that it's like the loving stage. It's like,
honeymoon stage.
Yeah, it's the honeymoon stage. So you just got to give your boy time to see.
How long does it last?
I would say like a few months, but then you could get caught in like a spiral. You know what I mean? Like a few months is not that long. A few months is 3 months. That's a few months to me.
Right.
So 3 months is just the amount of time to like know the person you're with.
How do you? Because I confronted this person. We talked about it. We're at that level of relationship. But for those that are listening, how do people confront their friend and say, "Hey, look, man, like I'm happy for you, but like, you know, our relationship's kind of taking a shift, or it's this your relationship with this person's taking a toll on our relationship." How do you have that conversation? Because it took me a second to muster up the courage to bring it to their attention. Can we just talk about this being?
Yeah, we're like beating around the bush. I'm seeing somebody right now, and Mark was missing me for a bit. Here's the thing. Oh, fuck. This is out. I'm out. This is a secret.
But it's on the low. No one knows who it is.
Yeah, nobody knows who it is. I don't want to. You know what, man? Like, I've been in a relationship on media, and it sucks, dude. It like really sucks. And I promised myself I wouldn't want to do that again, just because it just ruins the relationship and everything like that. But I get where you're coming from. And the girl that I hang out with is pretty cool with everybody in the relationship. Yeah. So it's cool that like when I hang out with my girlfriend, and it could be like we're all friends, and everybody knows we're not like, we don't make out in front of people. We don't like we're not like, oh, I love you, you love me. Like we're not like that. Yeah. We're very like friends because that's how we are in my own home.
Right.
I'm just learning how to balance it, and it took me a little bit because it's so new. I didn't want to walk away and do my own work again and hang out with my boys again separate without her thinking, oh my God, maybe he's starting to lose interest in me, or maybe this is already dying out. So I had to like kind of plan it accordingly. And I had that conversation. I was like, hey, I really, really care about you. But like I said, I'm my own boss. I got to get back to work. And also I have my own identity, which means I have my own life. And I know you do too. But this relationship is my first adult relationship, dude. And it was really like all over the place for me. Like there was a lot of steps that I took into this relationship that I never ever took in my life. So it took me a lot longer than I assumed it would take me, because I was dealing with things I never had to deal with. Like I've never met my girlfriend's best friends. Never.
I was
in my
actually going
life.
to bring that up. What's really cool about your relationship is even I'll hang out with her best friends.
Yeah.
She'll hang out with me and stuff like that. It's very rare, because I feel like when people get in relationships, they tend to, like I said, push their friends away, and then they kind of just become invested, and then they kind of they get pushed to one friend group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what's really cool about your
ours mixed a little bit. And you know what's funny is Mark introduced me to her, so he was already friends with her and her friends.
Right.
So like when I got introduced, it was like two groups coming together, and then I just kind of fell really hard for one of them, and so like the groups still meshed well, and we all hang out. Like we went out, all of us went out this weekend and everything. It was really fun. But yeah, like there was a lot of things like talking to her mom. Like
you spoke to her mom?
Like via FaceTime.
Ooh, that's such a big deal for George.
Yeah, I've never introduced a girl to my mom.
Bro, in high school,
ever.
I'd bring back girls. I wouldn't have sex with them because I graduated high school virgin, but I'd be like, hey, this is my mom and dad. Like,
yeah, opposite.
George has never introduced a girl to his parents.
Never, ever. Just because this is my mom and dad. They're like my king and queen. So like, I don't want to bring anything to the house unless I know for a fact it's like the one.
Yeah.
So that way, when I do introduce my girlfriend that I feel like one day I'll marry, she'll feel like, wow, this is like a special moment. And also, I don't have to.
What if for that girl, she doesn't get along with your parents? Or what if your parents
if
don't
any
approve
girl
of her?
doesn't, yeah, then I'm out.
So if your parents were like, we don't like her.
She's out.
Really?
I could be absolutely in love with her. She's out. The only
Why don't you
reason,
just have your parents arrange a marriage for you?
Yeah, I mean that'd be so much easier on my head. Like, geez, like dating girls in LA, it's so hard. No, yeah. No, a lot of people disagree. Only way I would go against my parents, if God forbid I accidentally got her pregnant. Then I'd be like, okay, now this is.
But we all know the precautions George takes when having sexual intercourse with a
Okay,
female.
we're not going down that route.
He will not ever get a girl pregnant.
No chance. Not me. Actually, fuck that. We're not talking about that. I take that back. It could possibly be me.
Knock on wood.
Because, oh my god. Because literally, I was on the podcast on this son of a bitch's dude. I'm so nervous right now because literally I go, nah, man, I'm not gonna be in a relationship. I'm not gonna be out of a relationship until I'm at least like 30, 35, and the motherfucker introduces me to a girl the next day, and then I fall in love.
Was it the next day?
It was like literally that week. It was like Justin was there. Like,
but the first time you guys hung out, you weren't.
Bro, I'm
even
sweating right now because I was like, no, you can't catch me getting a girl pregnant. I'm freaking out right now. Please, God, do not let me get a girl pregnant.
If you guys ever want to manifest something, let me know and I'll say it on the podcast, and it will in fact happen.
Yeah, so I will say it right now that I will not get a girl pregnant until after we're married.
George will not get a girl pregnant. Sorry, I burped. What was I saying?
Not get a girl pregnant until after I'm married.
Will not get a girl pregnant until after I'm married.
After I'm married. Me, not you. Honestly, you too. It'll probably take a while.
No, the precautions I take are pretty bad.
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. So like my advice is like it's all in moderation. So if you're gonna start a relationship and you have friends, just don't lose one. Guys out there, you got to understand, you got to be the man of the relationship. I've been taking notes, and I've had a lot of relationships not work out in the past that made me a better man now. And now going to this relationship, I realized that being a man in the relationship means a lot. I need to make sure in the foundation of this relationship that I'm taking the right steps. Like, I want to make sure that my girlfriend knows that she is loved and taken care of and that I will always have her back. But she also needs to know that I have my own life, my own identity, my own friends I have to be there for and take care of and work in my own establishment and industry and not... You know what it is? It's good to have two different worlds.
Right.
It's good.
Oh, you need it.
It's good. It's great. It's good to have your own thing here. And so that way I could go to my girlfriend later. A lot of people always want to like have their girlfriends around us. And for us, we get caught in that trap, and it's really hard because we don't have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's really good to have distance because the heart.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really, really important in a relationship to have two different lives. Because like when you spend so much time with each other, you get sucked in and trapped. And also the communication too. I don't know what George is doing right now. He's checking.
I cut my lip so bad.
The communication is key too. Like George early on is like, hey, look, I'm going to go hang out with my boys. It's not that I don't want to hang out with you. It's not that I'm sick of you. It's not that I don't like you. It's just like early on in the relationship, that needs to be the case, because there's been times where I was like, I need to escape this to go hang out with my boys. Like I need to get out of here. And then you just build up like an animosity and resentment towards the person because you feel like they're stripping you of something that you had.
Okay, Mark, not that I don't want to talk about my personal life that I don't actually want to bring up in real life. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
Can we change the subject now?
No, I got one more thing. We went out this weekend with everyone, and I brought everybody back to the club, or back from the club to my place again. I don't know, drunk Mark. This is a part of the reason why I'm holding myself accountable.
Also, before we jump into this stupid man tells me, dude, hey, I'm not going hard at all because I'm waking up 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm starting. And I was like, bro, it's the weekend. Why would you start? He goes, no, dude, trust. I'm starting. I go, okay. I'm at the club. I get a text from Mark. Mind you, I thought that was weird because Mark was 2 feet away from me.
Yeah.
So I look up. Mark's like bobbing back and forth. So I'm like, oh, he's drunk as shit. He looks up at me and he points at his phone. And I was like, okay. So I look down at my phone and I realize he goes, hey, man, after party, everybody's coming back to my place. You in? And I was like, fuck, okay, I guess I'm in. And so we're all back at his place at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and we stayed up till like 6 in the morning. I want to talk about people just making themselves a fucking home. Like we walk into my house, right? And people just walk into my office like and shut the door. I go in, I'm like, yo, can I help you? Like all my computers in here, my camera equipment, lots of prized possessions to me.
Porn.
And they're sitting and they're like packing their stupid ass jewel pods.
Wait, they had to close the door to pack a jewel pod?
They're like, we just need a minute, blah, 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 blah. And I come out here. I put all the alcohol out, whatever. By the way, they went through all of the beer, everything. And then I see 2 people walk into my room, my bedroom. And they walk in and they go into my bathroom and shut the door. I go, what the? LA got to clean up their act, man. It's out of hand, man. I've never seen so much drug use.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you need to... Sorry, I keep touching my mouth. I really sliced it up so every time I talk, it burns. But you got to go to New York then, bro. Sometimes I was at the restaurant. That's how much cocaine they do. Ready? I was at the restaurant and I was putting salt on my on my dinner. The guy's like, "Oh, that's enough cocaine." And I was like, "Wait, this cocaine? Thought it was salt." Every table has it.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was raised. My parents raised me. This is why I was so anti-weed. That like weed is fucking heroin. You know?
Yeah.
Like my parents, if they ever in their life caught me smoking weed, they would have ripped my nutsack off and then been like, "That's what you get. You ain't having no babies."
It's gonna be smoking pot.
Now weed's legal here. So I mean I don't mind people that smoke weed. That's fine. I actually don't mind people that do make decisions for themselves. But it's just I don't want to be a part of that person's life.
Yeah, man. Like I don't have a problem with anybody doing anything. Just don't do it in my house without asking me at least. You know,
right,
like if I had a bunch of friends over and they're like, "Yeah, cool. By the way, we're like in a hardcore shroom," and I was like, "Well, you know, I called you over to do the Bible study, but that's totally fine. You can do that."
That's a popular drug now, bro.
Shrooming.
Everyone is taking shrooms.
Yeah.
And in Colorado, that's like it's legal now.
Question for you: is anybody worried about their kids?
I think the whole world is worried about their kids.
Not even in that way. Like, dude, like if I don't think anybody paid attention in school. A lot of people keep saying like, everybody's so straightforward about like, oh, no, dude, I'm not going to get addicted. I'm not going to get addicted.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like, dude, your kids might turn out not healthy. You can't be taking drugs like this and thinking there's no repercussions.
Steve Jobs did LSD.
Okay, well... That's completely fine for Steve Jobs, but like
I think everybody goes through a phase. It's just, if you
take enough
everybody.
acid in your life that when you're old and your back cracks a certain way, it triggers an acid type of reflex, and like
I had a friend who told me, he's like, yeah, my uncle, he took LSD or acid or something like that, and it like brought out his schizophrenia, and now he's schizophrenic.
Wow,
yeah.
That is a really bad trip.
Yeah.
You know,
it's because it's a psychedelic, bro. It messes with your head.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to myself in my head, but I feel like everybody does that, right?
Talk to your...
Is that... Wait, hold on. Am I weird? Like, if you ever talk to yourself, but hear your own voice telling you what to do in your head? So
if there's any psychiatrists out there, I'm just kidding.
No, you're kidding. You guys do that. Like when you're ahead, you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. And then the same voice.
I don't talk to myself.
Chill. Because how do you think that?
You speak back to yourself?
Yeah.
So you're like, should I drink this alcohol? And then your brain's like, no, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that. Like legit.
You actually hear a voice in your head?
But it's my voice. It's not like, man, should I have a drink? It's like, nah, man, you don't need to do it. It's not like that, but it's like, should I have a drink? And the same.
And then you look to your other shoulder and it's like, man, fuck that guy over there, man. You should drink that shit.
I guess it would be like how if I was out loud, I'd be like, you know what? Let me get a drink. No, I don't want to drink. It's like an out loud version, but in my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just decision making. It just, I don't know. I never thought about.
I see a psychiatrist. That might be a little.
I've never thought about it like that. Like I never think that
I've been in the shower for like an hour and I just sit there talking to myself in my head. Is that weird?
You're fucking weird, bro.
Really? I'm in my thoughts, dude. I just like think about so much things.
We all think. We never stop thinking. We're always thinking.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible to not think about anything.
Well, that's not true. There's a lot of people out there that I know for a fact they don't think.
Oh, man. Anyways, let's get into some fan questions.
This is a very light podcast today. I think we went so hard the last one that we're kind of like, let's tone it back just a tiny bit this one.
Yeah, well, we're talking about drugs and shit, so...
Hey, I'm a big fan of the Two-Man Show. I love the interaction between you and George. It's awesome. But I wanted to touch on one of the things you said in one of your last podcasts was how, you guys are striving for more creativity and you want to be more creative in your content rather than, try to get more views using clickbait titles or controversial YouTubers. And do you ever find it difficult considering that you guys actually know a lot of Instagram models and you are friends with very, controversial creators who are maybe not the greatest role models for kids? Like, do you ever find yourself at a crossroads, when making your content? Like, do you ever find yourself not wanting to have them in your vlog? Or, what is the process? Do you guys ever think about that? Not a judgment, just curious. Love your stuff. Thanks.
This is an interesting question. I think, obviously, I've clickbaited, and I clickbait still to this day, and it's something that I definitely want to get away from. I want to make more content that, like I mentioned earlier, I want to make more creative content. I want to see a shift. I want to be the change in the content that continues to be created, because YouTube over the vlogging stages became such a clickbait heavy thing, and it's like, it goes back to like, oh, views and likes, they only come if you do clickbaity titles. And you have to look at it this way too. Something that I hate about the media is every headline is clickbait. Like if you look at go to the news and see how many positive stories there are. It's just like, that's just the world we live in, and it absolutely sucks that that's the case. But every headline that you see is something negative: a shooting, a robbery, a fire, police, this, Donald Trump, that, the right wing, left wing. It's all fighting, and it's built to stir up controversy. And for the Instagram model thing that we spoke our opinions. We still respect them as human beings. We're still like friends with them. But I even started, I don't even like, as much as they're my friends, I don't like their photos that are suggestive. I just don't want to support it.
Yep.
Like I'll like a photo that's artsy and great, but I'm just like, if you're posting, nude, half nude photos every time, I don't like them. I know I stopped doing that stuff. But I definitely want to make a shift in my content and be more creative and less controversial. But yeah, I think the direction we're heading in right now is really good. We've been very inspiring. We've been very honest.
Yeah, we're us.
We're us. And we're not hiding any bullshit, and we're being upfront and honest. And that's what that last podcast was. And if you don't like it, then
deuces.
Thanks for watching.
How's it, Mark and George? I was just wondering what your guys' opinions on teenage romances are and high school sweethearts, because personally, I don't believe in them, but I need to settle an argument with a mate. So if you guys could answer that question, that would be awesome. Cheers.
What do you think, George?
Okay, this is my honest opinion.
Teenage romances, high school sweethearts. George's didn't turn out too well, so you can speak on this.
I think I don't want to say it'll never happen, because I think when God wants the right one to be in your life, it's all in his timing, so you can't really place an actual time on it. But I feel like if we're going to look at statistics, usually when you're a teenager, you don't even know who you are. So how are you going to fall in love with somebody else? And if you do fall in love with them, they're not even fully developed, which means you're falling in love with something that's going to pass. So they're going to change their mindset, change. I mean, think about it. Every 6 years, your taste buds change, which means you start liking things you never did before and disliking things you did. So as
we also change and grow every day. To this day, I'm 25. I'm
exactly.
Still
so
learning.
If you're 16, I promise you're not going to be who you think you are at the age of 21. Your views are going to change. What you like is going to change. So my advice to you is don't put your life on hold for this person. If this person is casually in your life and it's a casual thing and you love this person, but it's not changing the direction that your life is going, then I say it's safe. It's no big deal. But for example, if you're 17 years old and you're deciding not to go to a college that's better for you because of a relationship that you're in, well, think about it this way. What if you guys break up and then now your whole entire life dictated from a decision you made while you were a teenager? It's not a smart move. So if you're...
I mean, dude, if you think about it this way, your whole life does dictate decisions you make as a teenager. Because when do you decide to go to college as a teenager? You're trying to... That's the biggest thing I hate about college is you have to decide what your career for the rest of your life is going to be in American society at the age of 17. When you're a junior in high school, you're applying to colleges for what you want to do for the rest of your life. Dude, I wake up every day and I want to do something different every day. That sucks. I know high school. There's two ways to look at it. One reason that I think high school sweethearts are good is because you don't have a taste for what other options are out there. You fall in love with this person and that's all you know. When I moved to Los Angeles, I was shocked because I was from Ohio and all I knew was Ohio. And then I moved out here and I'm like, holy fuck, there's a whole nother world outside of Ohio.
Yeah.
I thought girls in Ohio were hot. But in LA, every hot girl from every town across the United States of America and the world moves here.
Yeah. So
it's just filled with 10s. Let's be real. And, you got to have some 7s. So some 10s and some 10s in like a 10 in my hometown is like a 5 here, bro.
Yeah. No. I see where Mark is coming from. My advice at the end of the day is you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't know what you don't know what you're gonna love. Even if you're blind and you can't see what that person is or looks like.
But also that goes back to divorce rates. Why are divorce rates so high? Because there's so many options. There's so many choices. People want the next best thing. People want to see that girl on Instagram. Oh, maybe I can get with her. And it becomes a reality once you move to LA. Like to think some of these guys, like you see, like porn stars, for example, you're like, oh, I'd be so dope to fuck a porn star one day. There's literally friends of ours that have fucked porn stars. Like it happened. It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean it's Sin City, bro.
Yeah.
Like everything's at your disposal. It's true.
Next question.
Hey Mark, hey George. So you have a super hot girlfriend that you love, but you're having trouble keeping your eyes off of other super hot girls. How do you deal with that? Since I know you guys live in LA.
Wow.
I love how he
that last question just led into this question.
He goes, I got a super hot girlfriend. You know why? Because he's like, man, if they actually do catch me, I got to make sure that my girlfriend knows that I think she's hot.
Yeah. I
mean,
think if you truly love someone, you don't look. It's all about intent, right? Here's what I've always said. There's other people that are attractive. It is a fact,
Yeah.
If you've been in relationships previous, you were attracted to that person, right? You thought they were attractive. You don't just, when you get in a relationship, you can't just say that everyone else is ugly. It's not a reality, right? Like there's other good looking people and you're allowed to be friends with good looking people. You're allowed to think other people are good looking as long as you don't have the intent. If your intent is when you're looking at this girl, damn, I want to fuck her.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. But if you're looking at, oh, wow, she's a good looking girl. Like you and your girl always say like, damn, she'll be like, wow, look how hot that girl is. And you'll be like, yeah, she's pretty hot. Or you'll be like, yo, that dude's good looking. And she's like, yeah, he's really good looking. That's comfortability. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're not being like, damn, I wish I could fucking rip that girl's pants off right now and slap them cheeks.
Wow.
Unless you are saying that. I don't know.
That is verbatim, word for word. I agree with Mark right away. I think when I enter a relationship, I only ask the girl to start something serious when my mindset is completely tunnel vision with her. Mm-hmm. So like Mark said, there's a lot of beautiful people out there. Have common sense. You know what I mean? Like like I actually talked about this in the podcast way back before it was even the Two-Man Show. I was mentioning it. You got cheating. There's a lot of good people in the world that's accidentally cheated because they put themselves in bad situations.
Right.
Put yourself in a good situation. If you know that you're sexually attracted to so-and-so or this, and that, don't have drinks with them late at night at a hotel room by your guys' self. You know, like put yourself in good situations. Because no matter how hot your girlfriend is, I guarantee you when she looks at you, she might find you attractive. But we throw her in the middle of LA, you all of a sudden become an average-looking dude. So, like, humble yourself, bro. Put yourself in a good position and actually pray that she does as well. So when you're out there looking at other girls, it's fine, but don't be acting on it. Don't look there. Don't flirt. Don't be sitting there like, oh, if my girlfriend wasn't around. Don't say stuff like that. There's a lot of guys that are like that. Don't be one of them. And also be a man of your word, bro. It's like, it's a lot cooler to, I always said growing up, I would watch the guy who's getting all the girls, and then I would see a guy who has one beautiful girl, treats her right, and has a good head on her shoulders. To me, I always looked at that guy as the true man. I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy has it all. Because once you established a good relationship and you could handle that good relationship, that says a lot about your character.
Yeah,
you know
and we've talked, me and George have talked a lot. There's always a bigger, better deal.
Always, man. And
Especially
here's
out
another
here.
thing, dude. Looks aren't everything, because that girl that you're looking at is going to grow old and she's not
And
going to
so
be
are
as
you.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the girl that you're with, you better be with her more than just because she's a beautiful girl. You got to be with her because she makes you laugh or she's bringing something to the table that's more than just looks. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
like,
At
looks
the
are
end of
gonna
the day,
fade,
man, we all get old and wrinkly, and our ears and nose never stop growing. That's a fact. So, we're just going to all be old. And
So date somebody younger than you.
yeah. Be like Hugh Hefner.
Oh God, no. Next question.
Bigger, better deal. That's all the questions we have for this week, guys. Send me some questions. Send us some questions. dohnzfilms@gmail.com. dohnzfilms@gmail.com. We'll be answering them on the podcast, as we have been every single week. George, you have any closing arguments? Anything?
Yeah, man. We're gonna end it with like, don't judge. We share a lot of our opinions. That doesn't mean we want you to be brainwashed into thinking that we're right 100%. We just want to let you know what our opinion is, and we respect every single one of yours, if it doesn't have to do with violence. And we want to let you guys know that we do love you. We do read every comment, and so don't just comment. And that says it for all. We just mentioned it. We have millions of followers. I think us together, literally, we have millions of followers. So if we're reading our comments and we're getting affected by it, think again next time you comment on a girl's picture or a guy's picture and you think, oh, it's just a comment. It could lead to a lot more destruction than you think. So
Right, especially if they have self-doubt and they're doubting themselves. So
start spreading more love.
Yeah, spread love. Be positive. There's a lot of cruel people and cruel things happening in the world today. Prayers go out for El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. It's just sad, man, and we need more positivity and love spread throughout the world. Thank you guys all for watching this episode of The Two-Man Show, and me and George will see you guys next week. If I don't see you this weekend, good afternoon. I botched the outro, damn it.
Want to do it again?
Good evening and good
Dinner.
That sounds great. Good dinner.